On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, Fisherman's senior editor Fred Golofaro has the latest from the beach and other related news. We have our dreamboat and coastal kayak clash update and our correspondents checking in from around the island, all here at thefisherman.com.
The Fishing News is sponsored by these fine partners.
I had the opportunity last week to attend ICAST, the big event in the sport fishing industry. This show is where the latest gear and tackle is introduced to the media and tackle buyers. Today we have our first look at the award-winning new products from Daiwa, and in the weeks to come we'll be featuring new products from the show twice a week. Be sure you're a subscriber to the weekly newsletter so you don't miss out. Now let's check in with News 12 meteorologist Rich von Ohlen. Rich?
All right, thanks, Matt. Hey, anglers, let's check the weekend forecast, see what we got going on as we go into August. Of course, you can always check out your favorite apps, websites, any kind of weather sites to get your information locally. This is just a general overview, general heads up on the upcoming weekend. So start things out. Water temps still up there. Yeah, a lot of mid-70s now all across the ocean, the Sound, the Great South Bay. Wave heights, looks like Saturday's okay. Another good Saturday coming up. 2 to 4, generally speaking, light northwest breeze. The ocean should be okay. A little lumpy going into Sunday, maybe some rolls coming in offshore, but for the most part, even Sunday's not a terrible day. The futurecast northwest breeze on Saturday. This doesn't look too bad. Sunny day, no rain, another nice one coming up. A little more southwest here on Sunday, going more westerly in the afternoon. There could be a late day shower or something towards the evening, but it's doable. But Saturday definitely the better day. High tide Saturday, North Shore early morning, South Shore for the early afternoon. Figure about 75 to 80 on Saturday, nice day, and some upper 70s with some more cloud cover on Sunday. Let's check the Guru quickly, see what we got going on. There's your Saturday. Northwest breeze, so near shore is good. Maybe offshore a little lumpier, but not bad. And there's your Sunday, and more of a west-southwest. It's been looking a little bit better. It could get a little bumpy in the afternoon, but overall, I think most of the weekend should be fishable. Pretty good. Saturday, the pick of the weekend, a little better day. As always, be safe, enjoy, have a great weekend. Matt, back to you.
Remember, be sure to check out News 12 for the latest weather before you head out on the water. Now let's check in with Fisherman's senior editor, Fred Golofaro. Fred?
Hey, thanks, Matt. And the highlight this past weekend was the Surf Rats Ball Shindig. It was hosted by Bill Wetzel and Captree Bait and Tackle over at Captree State Park on Saturday. The raffle from that event raised over $11,000 for Kids Need Us. And Jeff the chef, he treated attendees to a barbecue featuring his famous ribs, pulled pork sandwiches, and of course, hot dogs and burgers. It was really a great day, a lot of really good surf fishermen there, a lot of good conversations going on. And if you missed that, there's the Libby Jamboree, that's coming up on Saturday, August 7th. That's at Field 8 in Heckscher State Park. And following that is the Montauk Surfcasters Association's barbecue. That's in Montauk State Park on Saturday, August 14th. So still have time to get together with fellow surfcasters at these other events. Speaking of Montauk, the final results of the Montauk Surfmasters tournaments, the results are in. Brandon Saucerly, he took the top spot with a 31-pounder, and he was followed up by Curtis O'Donnell. He had a 28-pounder. And he'll have that tournament again come fall. Good event, all catch and release. On the fishing front, I can tell you there's some really big bluefish roaming around Fire Island Inlet. I was snap jigging on the backside of Demo Tuesday evening on the outgoing tide. I had one bluefish that was, I'm estimating, easily 18 pounds. Great fight on a 10-pound test, little 6-foot rod. Took me down the beach, had that outgoing tide working with him also. Come up on top, head shaking twice with gills flaring, really cool. 20-pound test monolita, jig was right in the corner of his lip, so got away with that, got lucky there. Did lose a few jigs, only had the fish for about 45 minutes, 50 minutes, had a couple of small blues, 5-6 pounds, also one small striper. And like I said, I did get cut off several times, lost some jigs before that current died. Interesting though, during slack water and through the turn, lots of fish crashing bait and swirling right up along the rocks there. I couldn't do anything with them. Tried a whole bunch of stuff. They're on tiny bait, not even an inch long. Not sure if it's baby anchovies or herring, but there's a ton of it all along that backside of Demo and Moses also. Those huge schools of bunker, they were missing. A lot of people were asking, what's going on? We didn't have all the bunker we had the last couple of years. Well, they are now blanketing the whole South Shore from one end to the other. There's everything on them. There's, of course, lots of sharks. There's porpoises. There's whales. There's some bluefish. Bass, really tough to find. I'm not hearing anybody pulling bass out of them, but they are catching cobia, guys in the boats, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear of a nice cobia out of the surf over the next week or two. A lot of the cobia action seems to be more to the west, especially that like Deb's Inlet area. What I think is more interest is, and I got several reports of this on Saturday, are school bass cruising right along the beach line. I got reports from Southampton beaches, from Smith Point, and also from Democrat Point. And they're feeding on mole crabs, which are basically sand fleas. Most people call them sand fleas. So if you're looking to do something different this weekend, and if the surf is calm, break out a light rod, some small circle hooks, maybe some split shots, dig up a couple of mole crabs and try tossing them in the surf. A lot of the guys that are doing it are actually sight fishing. They're seeing these fish in calm water, cruising right along the edge, along the lip of the beach. So give that a try. Matt, back to you.
Now let's check in with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim?
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings everybody from Montauk. Summer's in full swing. Weather's been pretty good. Fishing, still very good out here. All fluke and sea bass. Everybody's picking away really good. We're getting a lot of consistent fish. My kids' fluke tournament, all these kids are getting some really big fish. The numbers they put on the board is pretty impressive. We still have 2 months to go, and we're looking forward to seeing what fish end up on the board in the end. Striped bass, still very consistent. Guys are picking away at slots and some bigger fish. Kind of slowing down as far as the big fish go here in Montauk, which is typical for August and the end of July. Plenty of bluefish around for anybody who's interested in bending a rod, light tackle. The whole south side of Montauk's pretty much been full of nice sized bluefish, anywhere 12 to 18 pounds. Offshore report, a bunch of guys have been going. Talked to one boat, Scott McMahon and Eddie Urell. Those guys had a decent run of some mahi, a couple nice tunas, and they were deep dropping for some tilefish, and they had a couple nice tilefish for that. Rich Daniels and Mike Ferrara on the Iron Wind, they tried to follow up on their pretty successful trip a week ago, and they were out Saturday night into Sunday morning. They had a couple yellowfin, bunch of albacores, really nice size albacores, but unfortunately they paid the price coming back Sunday. It was pretty sloppy. Anybody who was out Sunday in that blow is going to know that. In regards to Montauk, La Fin, which is a restaurant in Montauk, many of you know it as Lenny's or Swallow. They are holding a benefit on August 3rd for Skip Rudolph. This will be a benefit for his family to help offset the cost of his recovery. And Skip is not fishing currently to deal with his medical issues. So if anybody's in the Montauk area or they want to get, I have a link for the benefit. Maybe look into what they can do for Captain Skip. That would be great. Other than that, Matt, everybody have a good weekend, and we will talk to you soon.
From Sag Harbor, we have the East End Anglers.
All right, thanks, Matt. So typically, this time of year is happening. The warmer water is kind of happening in the bays, and the colder water moving out east along with the fish. So there's some porgies around Sag Harbor, but now everything's kind of moving further east towards Gardiner's Island and towards Montauk. Solid fluke fishing out there, as well as solid sea bass fishing. And now Will's going to give you an offshore report.
Hey guys, south of Block has been heating up on bluefin, southeast as well off the point of Montauk. Some of the water by fishtails and the dip isn't doing so hot right now, but the really good fishing has been out in the Hudson with yellows and big eyes, and even more east towards beaches in Atlantis. So all good things to come, and hopefully we continue to have a stellar season. Thanks, Matt. Now back to you.
From Shinnecock, let's check it with Mike Dean. Mike?
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Fishing's pretty good in between Shinnecock and Moriches. Striped bass, not so much. There are some fish off the beach on, most of the reports that I've gotten are on bait. I caught a few, the past few weeks, like here and there, some small fish on like a 3/4 ounce bucktail. There are a lot of sand fleas, in the wash, so those small bucktails tend to mimic that profile, so that's worked out. Some bigger fish, on the bunker pods, along with a couple of blues, but more bass, as well as a lot of decent amount of brown sharks as well, are on those bunker pods. In Shinnecock Inlet and Moriches, both spots, big bucktails and live bunker being drifted, have produced some fish, but nothing really too great. It does seem like the better fishing is closer to the inlets with that colder ocean water coming in, now that we're having like much higher water temps. Fluke bite is still on, and kind of similar to the bass, that fluke bite's been a little bit better closer to the inlet, not as much in the bay. Other than about halfway through incoming, when you get some of that cooler ocean water going deeper into the bay. But it does seem like the inlet, the reef, off of Shinnecock, and any of that 60 to 80 foot ocean water seems to be doing the trick there. Sea bass, porgy bite on the reefs and the wrecks still really, really good. Was out last night just for the quick happy hour trip on Hampton Lady. Quick limit of some nice sea bass, 2 really nice sized porgies as well. So that was good. Tuna bite Quambra, from what I've heard, I haven't been out there, has kind of slowed down a little bit. I have heard a couple of people that have made it to the dip and got into some nice mahi, some good bite on albacore, as well as those that went all the way out to the canyon did really well. So I got the Hamptons offshore coming up. A lot of nice offshore tournaments. So it's going to be pretty cool the next few weeks to kind of see what comes back from the deep and makes the scales. So until next week, get out there, catch them up, have fun, and I'll talk to you then. Back to you, Matt.
This came across our desk yesterday. Jake Albanese and crew caught this 80-pound wahoo on the troll on the Cameron Nicole in Hudson Canyon. That's an impressive catch, and will be some great eating. Now let's get an update on the Dreamboat contest with Tim C. Smith.
Some big changes in the Dreamboat this week. Henry Piacentino of Long Island has moved to first place with this 22-pound mahi. Michael Briggs slips to second. Garrett Weir is now in third. And a new name on the board is Long Island subscriber Ahmed Solomon with his monster porgy of 3.5 pounds. We also have a new leader in the fluke category, Rashawn Williams with this 12.4-pound fluke. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only season-long multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a 25-foot Steiger Craft Center console powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Subscribe now to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the action.
With our flying freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Well, hello, Matt. It was a hot, tired, tough days here fly fishing. I've been fishing the ponds. I've been doing well with the warm water fishery, but the spring creeks on Long Island are doing okay. But even during the day, it could be hot and they could be picky. I was guiding Graham this week. It was tough fishing. We did have action. We did land a few fish. And we did have fish on, but you had to keep changing the flies, keep changing it up. But it was good. As far as upstate, the good news is all the rivers are dropping. Hopefully, they're going to stay that way until my trip next Monday for smallmouth on the Housatonic. So I'm looking forward to that. It is the doldrums. Saltwater, bluefish, but you got really best taking a guide. Now, just mark this date, Saturday the 14th, right? The Trout Unlimited is having a festival, a free festival out at Connecticut. You do have to pay for parking. And they are having movies in the afternoon at 8 o'clock, 8 to 10 o'clock, fishing movies. It's going to be a lot of fun. Great way to get introduced into fly fishing. Hopefully you'll join us. That's Saturday the 14th. Tie lines, everybody.
From Northport, we have Mark McGowan from Cal Harbor Bait and Tackle.
Hot sunny days, steamy nights. It's what island living is all about. I wouldn't have it any other way. Long Island is the best place to live. I just love it. Man, we're coming into August right now, and it's hot, and hotter. And that means the fishing, it changes up. The pelagics on the South Shore are really gearing up. We all know about the sharking. It's non-stop freshwater. You've got largemouth bass with the big chew on there. Bluefish coming in. In the Northport area, we've got tons of peanut bunker that have just started to populate the entire area. And what that means, big weak fish, bluefish coming in, those dark, still nights when you get these big bass come into the shallows and hammer these fish. So many opportunities. Porgying, wow, I love it. Porgy fishing is just the funnest thing in the whole world. And add the mix of the next best thing, and that's snapper fishing, man. I never seen so many parents just coming together with their kids and having these connections, and grandparents coming in and having connections. I absolutely love it. You gotta love it too. I know you do, and that's why you listen to these reports. Listen, I feel very blessed to bring them to you every week, and until the next time we speak, I bid you peace and tight lines.
Dave Anderson of the New England Fisherman has an update on the coastal kayak clash. Dave?
Let's just do a quick rundown of what's going on in the coastal kayak clash this week. We had one really impressive entry come in this week from Rashawn Williams. He topped the fluke category with a 31-incher. It's going to be a tough one to beat up there. That gives him 3 points for the tournament and puts him well within striking distance of the of first place. With just a couple of quick entries, he could overtake everybody. The other thing that we had was an upgrade to the Sea Robin, the third place Sea Robin for Bob Wagner. It doesn't change the points at all, but it just kind of solidifies that position for him with a 16.5 incher. And the leaderboard didn't change. We still have a three-way tie for first place. The other thing that was kind of fun, though, is that we got a few entries finally for the Fish of the Month. And Bob Wagner right now is leading that with an 18.25 incher. And not too far behind him is Ken Stark with his 17 3/4 incher. There's still time to get that July Fish of the Month, and certainly plenty more time to find your way to the top of the leaderboard in the CKC. Get your entries in as soon as you can.
Captain Joey Leggio last week shared his COBIA tips, and a regular viewer of the weekly video fishing forecast took advantage and hooked up. Joey has all the details.
Hey Matt, what's going on, brother? All right, let's do a little something different this week. I'm actually going to talk to you about how these reports work and that people are actually using them. So last week's report, I spoke about the cobia, and I sent a little video of how I caught one on the bucktail rig, which I did lose after a couple screaming runs. But one of our loyal followers, actually wrote to me after watching the video, asked me some questions about it. And, we shared some information. He shot out that very next day, and after talking to me, watching the video that he saw on the Fisherman's webpage with the reports, he went out, Elron is his name, and he scored on a cobia, which was awesome. So these reports actually work, guys. You get out there. These are legit reports, whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it. I know some people write that they think we're full of it, whatever. You're always going to have your haters no matter what. But in the end, here's a man that followed the reports, went out there, and he made it happen. And he came home with a beautiful 25 to 30-pound cobia using a First Light bucktail jig. So, yes, those cobia are still out there. Yes, the sharks are out there, guys. There are so many sharks. It's almost like a guarantee thing. If you haven't caught a shark before and you want to catch a shark, now's your time to do it. Plenty of life. There's also talks of a bluefin tuna bite out there, very close to shore. My buddy Kenny was out there drifting at nighttime. Again, very close. We're talking like 50 feet of water. He connected with a thresher shark, a tiger shark, all sorts of, browns and duskies and spinners and black tips, and also got spooled on something which he believed to be a giant tuna. So there's a tremendous amount of life. The Spanish mackerel is still there. But guys, this is the time. You got to get out there and do it. There's some crazy stuff. Also, now I heard word that there was a redfish caught off the Rockaways somewhere. I don't know how true that is. This is coming from secondhand information with a photo, though. So I'm going to guess it's pretty true. But then again, who knows if someone's playing the game. But pretty awesome to see a redfish off the Rockaways. That's basically my report. Actually, I'm sorry. I did speak to Motorcycle Mike, and he has been catching a Rockaway. Sent me a couple pictures of some nice keepers and stuff off the Rockaways. I spoke to Steve Howell. He and his little boy out there, Stevie Jr. out, and he did really well on the triggerfish and the blowfish on the reef. And again, they had a nice limit of sea bass as well. But that's my report, and I'll talk to you all soon. Back to you, Matt.
Captain Mike Sentry has the latest from Staten Island.
Thanks, Tim and Fred. Hope all is well, guys. Well, guys, Mike MG here, otherwise known as Mike Sentry for the Fisherman magazine. I'm over here today at Atlantic Bait and Tackle in Middletown, New Jersey, where they have a large selection of variety of products, from everything from freshwater to saltwater. You name it, it's here. Today's weekly report is going to focus on the fluke. The fluke action has been literally non-stop. If you hit deeper water between the 70 to 80 foot column with the 6-inch grubs, and the S-Pro plugs, usually around 4 to 6 ounces, and producing good amount of fluke. One of my good friends, Captain Frank Mezzeria from the Vitamin C Charters over here in Keyport, New Jersey, has been doing fantastic with the fluke. On the offshore report, as you know, the yellowfin has been heating up. Here's a friend of mine, Pat Salvo, along with Vincent Martella and crew. Nice yellowfins, 55 inches on this bad boy. Gotta say, they're getting bigger by the month. August is usually the month where you target the yellowfins with butterfish, fresh out menhaden, peanut bunker, even chunks of mackerel, you name it, sardines, they're out there. So now's the time to get out there, guys. Take advantage of it. Summer's not gonna last here forever. August, next thing you know, September's gonna be here. So make the best of it. Tight lines, back to you, Matt.
Remember to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tap on the bell to be notified instantly when we post a new video on YouTube. And of course, to be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine to be part of the Dreamboat Contest and Coastal Kayak Clash. Check out his video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. And please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. See you right here next week at theallnewfisherman.com.
Steigercraft boats, built by people who fish our waters. Serious anglers choose Steigercraft for their 40 years of boat building experience right here in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Visit steigercraft.com for a dealer near you.